Hello, in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about what to do at the end of the year with Google Classroom. And there's a lot of options. There's no wrong answer or right answer. So decide what works best for you. Just know that I have a lot of classrooms here, and when I click on those three lines, I can see the ones that I'm teaching, which means I'm either co-teaching or I own them. And I have ones that I'm enrolled in. So if I'm enrolled in some of these, I'm just students. I can't post assignments or anything like that. So if I decide that I want to leave one of these classrooms, I could, in fact, find it. And there I see the three dots here. And when I click on the three dots, I could click and unenroll here. So I'm not going to unenroll in this particular class, but I could do that if need be. All right. So when you do that, this will disappear. That's one way to kind of clean up things. But the ones that you're teaching, which are these, you want to kind of think about it a little bit differently. All right. So let's go here. This is a fake class, but let's say I want to archive it. Archiving is kind of like a semi-delete. So I'm going to press archive. When I say semi-delete, it deletes it from my main interface. So I don't see all this stuff here. But if I go back to those three dots and I go all the way down to the bottom, I see archive right here. And when I click on that, it's kind of a safety net. There it is. Now, it gets it out of my site, which I like, but the reason why I don't go up to these three dots and I do not completely delete it here is because if I delete it, I can't reuse any assignments that I might have posted in here for my new classrooms. And I want to be efficient. I want to reuse assignments. So I may not want to actually delete this. If you know for sure that these things in here are things that you don't need, go ahead and delete it. But for me, I don't really care because, again, when I go up here to classes, I see what I see. And I don't go down to archive very much. But since I'm in archive right now, know that you can also restore. So I can restore this. Everything will come back. Okay? Now, the other thing that you might want to consider is, I'm going to go back to my classes here, is that you might want to get rid of a bunch of students. You want to unenroll them. So I can click here and I can go to my people and I can highlight all of my students and I can, in fact, remove them. So they have no more access. They can't post comments. They can't interact with me. They're actually removed from the classroom. So that's another thing that they can do. Now, anything that they created will still be in their Drive, in their Google Classroom folder in there. So they can still access those kinds of things, but they cannot interact with this classroom anymore. So some teachers may consider doing that. Again, going back here, what I would recommend is anything that you're not using, I would go ahead and just archive it. So if I go up here, archive it, great, it gets out of my realm. The other thing is if you have a PLC class, and I happen to have a PLC class here, I often will, excuse me, I will often, when I post assignments, I will post it in my PLC class. And the reason why I do that is because we're all, let's say there's 3 teachers, we're all sharing the same assignment so we can reuse it. So at the end of the year, what I might consider doing is I might go, you know what, there's a great assignment in here that I used for this class. So I'm going to go here and I would like to reuse it. So I am going to take it and put it in my PLC class. So I am going to go back to my PLC class. Let's do that right now. Here, just pretend that's my PLC class. I'm going to go to classwork and I'm going to go create and I'm going to reuse and I'm going to take it from my PLC class. So my PLC class, let's say it's this one. I want to use this. And so I'm going to just take this great activity and I'm going to reuse it. And what it does is it puts it in this PLC classroom, which is really super great. So, you know, I can change it, I can edit it, I can do whatever I want. I'm just going to go ahead and assign it. There are no students in this PLC classroom, all right? There are no assignments or students in here, so at the end of the year, I might want to consider making a PLC class and then take all the great assignments from my other classrooms and put them in here and organize it. Then next year, when I have a new class, I can take things out of this fourth grade class and I can get rid of that other class. So it's up to you, right? So basically, you have a couple options. You can archive and reuse. You can go inside and get rid of your student, or if you'd like, you can completely delete it once you've archived and you can delete it. And lastly, consider making a PLC class, share it with your grade level peers or your subject matter peers, and then start posting assignments and organize it in a way that makes sense to you all. Post it in this PLC classroom so next year you can reuse it for your other classes. Hope that helps.